Hey you guys, I'm doing a Soul Rebirth Journey for Steve today. And Steve's got some really good questions, and I cannot wait to see what we discover in your spiritual atmosphere today, Steve. So, Steve's openly sharing this for all of us to learn and grow together. And the goals are okay, I'm going to read these. It says, I continue to feel that things in my past just won't let me go. I continue to worry about what people think of me. I continue to be overweight, but not as bad as before. The lighter I get, the more fearful I become. It may be that the more I'm seen, the more attention I get, the more will be expected of me. There may be a feeling that I should not be doing better than my father. I'm thinking of starting my own business based on what I do now. It can be a very good income. And after 10 years of it, I'm very comfortable with it. Scrap metal. It's a lot sexier than it sounds. Oh, so cool. I actually like all of your observations as well, Steve. These are really good. Okay. I'm going to relax here. We're going to find out all about you, okay? We'll take a look at this business idea as well. I think with confidence, you could do it. You could totally do it. I mean, I think you have all the know-how and the skills. I think that you just need a little boost. And what you're sharing beforehand is kind of what might manifest a resistance to pursuing that type of goal. But let's just see what's going on in your spiritual atmosphere, okay? Okay. Just relaxing here. Okay. Okay, the first image I see is a little bit strange. It's some sort of a tool that you would, I gotcha, and it sort of goes around the neck, and you could pick up an animal and then put them somewhere. But this tool is going into your neck and then opening up it. It's really kind of gruesome to look at, actually. There's something about this is bam, instantaneously, that's what I see. So let's see what happens here. It's very murky, it's muddy looking, there's like a brownish color to everything. It feels muddy, it feels swampy, but it's not so much a swamp as it is muddy. I hear you say, I just want you to let me go. I just want you to let me go. Let go of me, let go of me. Again, we see this odd contraption, but it doesn't go around the neck. It goes into the throat, and then it sort of opens up. It's very gruesome looking, but the neck is still attached. And you feel sort of like a rat, but you're not a rat, but you're sort of caught by this little device here by the neck, and you're lifted up so your little feet are kind of like trying to touch the ground, but you're not going anywhere. You're caught, you're captured. And no, they aren't going to let go of you. What does that mean exactly, Steve? I don't know, but that's part of the message. They aren't going to let go of you yet, all right? Let's see what it all means here. Okay, I gotta continue forward on that level, of that angle. They are not going to let go of you. There's a sort of a horseshoe of emanations of holding you back, the emanations that are holding you back, that are not going to let go of you. This is a pretty big deal, Steve. However this is manifested, this complex, this is a complex, because this is an identity. This is a real experience that is in your spiritual atmosphere, and it's defining you. It's defining the way you feel inside, the way you feel about the world, and it's helping to manifest your pathway. And it's all like a complex. of development, energetic development that started somewhere in all of this. And it looks and feels like this, okay? I'm in your psychology. I mean, I'm in your spiritual atmosphere. I'm learning about you and the wiring here, and this is what it looks like. And it is actually a really big deal, and this is a good thing. This is really good timing, because this being at the forefront of the surface of your spiritual atmosphere, we can actually lasso this stuff and help to let it go. Let it go. Are they got a hold of you, or are you not letting them go, right? You're not letting it go. But somehow it got turned around, so it feels like you're the one you can't be let go of, right? So we've got to figure this out. How did it get like this? Again, I'm telling you, by the end of this session here, you're gonna be free from this, and you're gonna feel like a totally new man. You're so ready for this. You're so ready for this. All right, I gotta there's a horseshoe, and there's some dark, shadowy figures, and they aren't going to let you go, okay? It's interesting because they create the shadow of a gateway, like a rounded doorway, but you never see the doorway, but there's like cast a shadow here of a shadowy shadow of this rounded gateway on the ground, but it's really standing figures, shadowy figures. And you look like a possum. You look kind of like a possum that's been captured, and you're trying to scurry away. You can't. You're lifted off of the ground, actually. They got you by the throat. This is very sad, because nobody likes possums, Possums are ugly, they're gross, nobody likes possums. That's kind of the way the energy is radiating back to me. I personally love possums because they're so weird looking. They're like a cross between like a rat and like a cat and they're the weirdest things ever, but I think they're adorable. And so you're adorable, Steve. You're totally adorable. But you are emanating, I'm a possum. I'm gross, I'm ugly, I'm unwanted. That's kind of the way this possum, it symbolizes those types of feelings. I'm so excited. I keep clapping in the background, and I'm saying, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay, I'm gonna get you out of here. But I can't yet. I have to be patient, of course. So I just have to continue to watch and experience, okay? How bad are you going to let it get, Steve? How bad? Because you're just sort of, you feel like a victim to something bigger than yourself that has got you by the throat. And there's no getting out of it, and it actually feels like it's kind of closing in on you, like it's creeping closer to you, because this sort of horseshoe of shadow is coming closer to this little possum version of you, and you're actually getting put into a box, but it's an invisible one. I can see you. I can see the outline of a cube shape, and you're going into it, so you're getting put into like a clear box. I can see you. And the thing is you can't hide. Even if they try to put you away, you're totally visible. You can't hide. So they have a clear box with a possum in it, and they could put you on the top shelf. They could put you behind this, but you're still visible. You still are visible. You really feel like there's some sort of higher force that is controlling your circumstances, but there actually isn't. It's coming from inside of you. I know it's weird, and we're going to find out how or why it got there in the first place, but it's coming from inside of you, and somehow it's very powerful, so it's creating the illusion and all these effects, and it feels real, and it is real then on a level, right? And there's no conquering it. There's only being conquered by it. So we're continuing to sort of experience the same pattern going on here. You're never alone. Even after they put you in a box, it's like they're still holding on to you, and they don't let go of you. They don't put you on a top shelf. They don't put you anywhere. They just hold you in all of their hands. So the horseshoe is closed into a ring around you, and each one of these sort of dark figures is holding on to you. And they aren't going to let you go. And you're in the box and you're sort of looking in every direction, and you can see each and every one of these faces here as well. And it's making your little heart beat like lots faster. And then you can't get out, and there's nowhere you can go. This is a squirm and a struggle. And it's coming to a sort of a breaking point where you just take a deep breath and say, okay, so I'm in a box. A bunch of guys are holding onto me. Nowhere I can go, nothing I can do. All right, well, I'm just going to stay right here then. I'm just going to be at peace with exactly what is going on right now in my life. And I'm just going to do that. So, let's see if Possum can just take a vacation in a little box held by a bunch of dudes in the shadows, all cloaked figures. But no big deal. Let's just take a vacation. Everything is exactly as it's meant to be right now. I am in the balance. Let's see if we can do it. Can you do it, little possum? It's hard. You really resist it. Because this possum here is thinking of chewing his way out. And if he can chew his way out, he'll get out of the box, and then he could scurry off somewhere. He could get away from them. If he can get away from them, then he could go live his life. But the thing is, there's something you're not facing with these guys here in this whole situation, so you actually can't run away from it, because if you try to run away from it, you're just going to wind up right back where you left off. You can never run away from anything. You actually have to face it, and then it lets go of you. Was it always holding onto you, or were you holding onto it? That's the riddle, That's the total riddle about this. So, let's see. Yeah, you're not ready yet, so you're chewing through this invisible box, and you're trying to squeeze your body through. You're like a ferret in a way, too, trying to squeeze your body through and scurry away from this. You get away, and there's a little hole in the wall, much like a little mouse home, and then you run to the hole in the wall. And you are going to come up with some ingenious ideas, very clever of you, to get out of this house, okay? To get out of this house. And so it seems like this ferret, because this possum is turning into a ferret, and the ferret kind of is acting like a mouse, you're having to change your identities, I guess, in order to accomplish this feat. Anyway, but you're still kind of ferrety looking. So you're scurrying up the side of this wall, and then you're scurrying down that way. You're kind of in the roof area, and you are determined to get out of this house. Whatever you do, you must get out of this house. Because only when you're out of this house, then you're truly away from them, they. You are truly away from them. They don't hunt you down. They aren't going to get you. You are trying to find your way out. They're almost sort of laughing at you, because they are the illusionists. They are the illusionists in a way. So they're sort of using their ability to create jams. No matter where you go, what you do, it's sort of like you hit a maze now. You think you're on your way out, but you're just entering into more of their little maze. So they're creating a mind game for you, and you're never going to get out. You're never going to get out. That's what they say. They is like 12 dark cloaked men. Are they real? Are they real? I'm not saying yes or no to that question. I'm not going to say that they aren't real. I'm not sure yet. So let's just keep learning, okay? What I'm supposed to tell you is that energy can be anything it wants to be, energy. So negative energy, we feel low right now. And the low feeling, it kind of makes us feel like, we just got stepped on by a giant. Is the giant real? Or is the feeling real? And then the feeling transforms into a giant that is stepping on you and your bubble gum under the shoe, something like this. So you can have a feeling and it now becomes an image or a picture. Is that actually real? It's the energy. So the energy can look like anything. And so right now it's looking like these men, these 12 cloaked men, okay? And that's all we know. And they don't have any ego, so they're not laughing at you. They're not talking amongst each other and to try to find a way, to keep you locked in their prison. They're just sort of they're just emanating the next illusion in order to keep you trapped. So it's all energy. This isn't going away. This is going to be with you for a while. And what is the timeline here? Is this is the way life is felt and it's still happening. So where am I? Looking at this sort of rat or ferret in the maze, where am I here in your timeline? Is that right now it's not going to go away? Or was that last year or 10 years ago? Is that what this is a reflection of? I've got to continue to go through this. It's, where am I at in your timeline? I'm convinced this is going to go away by the end of the Soul Rebirth Journey, so you're on to bigger and better things. So I just have to continue, and I can feel that this is not going away anytime soon. You're going to find your way through the maze, and you're just going to find your way through another maze, and you're going to find your way through another scenario and another scenario and another scenario, and you think you're going to be free, but you're just only continuing to cycle back into the same routine and the same rhythm. So how do we break that cycle? We have to break that cycle somehow, so the energy work will actually help do that. Because you're energetically connected or tuned into this behavior, as though this is normal. Okay, very disorienting around the throat and the head region. It's very disorienting right now. I feel like I'm very just sad. I'm devastated. Tears are coming out of my eyes. I feel at a loss. I feel no matter how many hurdles I jump over, I'm still running into the same hurdles that I have to jump over. I'm at a loss right now. It's not a breaking point yet. It's just an acknowledgement of a frustration. And it's not yet a breaking point where you can feel breaking points. This here feels like it could be a breaking point, but it's really extreme frustration and confusion about a pattern you're noticing in life. There's just a energy shift or energy change here, so there's nothing to talk about yet. I'm just waiting for the energy to circulate and show me something new. Okay, something of scissors, but the scissors are not like in your fingers, you're cutting straight ahead, but they're dangling down and they're big. Like they're gonna just chop, chap, chap. You can imagine it like a putt-putt golf, and they're using scissors. Like, don't hit it with scissors when they close, or the ball won't go through. So it's something weird like that. But there's scissors that are opening and closing downward, and there's like a door that you have to walk through. But obviously, you have to time it right. You have to time this right. Otherwise, if the scissors close, then you're gonna roll backwards. Or you're gonna get chopped, I guess. So you have to time this right. But you're intimidated because you might get chopped and you might not make it in time. And if that happens, it's gonna be a disappointment, and you would rather go through life not having to accept a disappointment. But I think you should go through life giving it a try, and if it doesn't happen, say, okay, that's all I needed to know. I just needed to see if maybe it would happen or not. Well, it just didn't work out. No big deal. I'll just try the next thing. But there's something of an intimidation here for this part of yourself that I think I can make this. I think I can do this. But if it just turns out that I get chopped, or the door closes and I can't move forward, this might be kind of a little bit harder for me to accept that loss. And that could be not that I'm like disappointed in myself. It could be like I have to invest a lot of money. I have to invest time. I have to do this, and the other thing. This could be like business related, like the manifestation of a business. And if it doesn't work out, I'm going to be out that money, that time. I'm going to, it might hurt my ego a little bit. It might be all these things. So let's just, that's what we're looking at right now. There is a hesitation to go forward because of that might happen. So this is really helping you out. Actually, I can feel a lot of energetic just like pour out. Stuff you don't need just goes, and it starts with the heart, but somehow it's sort of from the shoulders, and it's just sort of pouring down from the front and the back. It feels good, actually. I feel a lot lighter. I feel like I can roll my shoulders. I feel like I have some flexibility. Something about this conversation is lightening some kind of a load, some energy load. And you need to give yourself more credit. You need to give yourself more credit. That definitely is a message. And you're beautiful. That is also a message. Possums are beautiful creatures too. And you are beautiful. And you're not a possum. And you're not a golf ball either. You're a man. Let's have you stand here and let's just see what the scale is, because there's something odd about the scale of things. At first it looked like a doorway that I could walk through, but it kind of reminds me of putt-putt golf. So I also feel like a golf ball that has to get hit in at the right time, just the right time, right? But now that I'm looking at it more, I'm like, why was I wanting to be a golf ball? Why not just stand here like a big person and do it differently? Why not take a look at this perspective differently? Because there's something about that. So I'm actually I'm like at the size, I'm like way taller than whatever this mechanism is. And it seems kind of like a silly joke because I don't have to go through that doorway. I can walk around it. I could go in any direction I want. Going through that doorway is actually not necessary. It's kind of any type of concerns or any type of resistance with going forward. It looks like there's a lot more involved, a lot more concerning situations involved here than that are actually realistically involved. Somehow the perspective or the scale of things is not accurate, and there's another way through this tunnel, which isn't even going through the tunnel at all. There's like I'll just step around, and then I don't even need the golf ball. I don't even need putt-putt. I just want to go forward with my life. Like, I don't need anything else. Why am I creating like a tricky illusion? Why am I creating this as my scenario, my obstacle that I have to get through in order to manifest my dreams? Manifesting your dreams, Steve, is like way easier than you're allowing it to be. And you're allowing it to be. So now we're starting to see these 12 shadowy beings are actually you, and you're the illusionist. You're the master illusionist. And you're the one creating, making it way harder than it needs to be. To get out of this house, you're creating the maze. You're creating the struggle. And it's way easier than it has to be. And I don't know why that is part of the message, but it is. This really helps you to start to see that you are the one that is the illusionist. You're the 12 dark cloaked figures. You're the one that created the putt-putt golf course in order to make it way harder for you to just take one step forward. Like, all you have to do is just take a step forward. So why all of a sudden do we need golf clubs, golf ball, a crazy scissory thing, concerns and fears about getting chopped, and all this other junk in the way? And all you have to do is just take a step forward, and that's it. You don't need all this other stuff. You're like creating an obstacle course in order to accomplish your dreams. It's really like, wow, how do you mastermind this? You're doing it. You're actually doing this. Just relaxing here. Some more. Okay, so your deeper consciousness is saying, Abby, I really do not feel like I am in control of what you're talking about. I actually am digesting this. I am processing this. I am relating to this, but I still don't understand how I am the one that's doing it. I don't know how that's possible. And I say, I think that's a really great question. I think we need to explore it. Has to do with self-worth and the value of you, Steve. And you're right, what you were saying about if you are valued, Steve, now there's a greater expectation. And what you said about your father too, that to live your life for yourself and now to make something of yourself more than your father did. I mean, we're all this is a big pool of self-discovery about worth and value, in the value of you. And if your dreams are really that easy to attain, and success is really that easy to attain, if it is truly that easy, then now it's like, now you can believe in yourself. Now you have proof that that life is really this easy. There's something about this realization. There's something about what you had said and what I am seeing in you, and I haven't got the words or the language yet to articulate it, but I'm starting to figure it out too. And it's all about self-worth and the value of you. Imagine if the world just started to say, Steve, you're amazing. I'm so glad you're in this world, and thank you so much. I'm glad you started this business, and wow, look at that Steve guy. He's so handsome. And like now you're starting to, that's the truth about you. And if you start to hear the truth about you and what you got going in your atmosphere is not that is not what you would define as the truth about you, and then now people are telling you the truth about you, it's creating no, I'm not handsome, I'm not working, I'm not those things. Stop seeing those things in me. So there's something again about worth and value, because that is the truth about you, and you need to give yourself permission to see that is the truth about you. And once you give yourself that permission, and you just take baby steps, okay? Because I know what it's like to adjust to a new lifestyle, new way of being. More people are in your life appreciating you in a way that you never felt before. It takes adjustment. It takes believability. Like really, I can be loved. I could be good enough for this world. Like, it takes me even. I'm still working on that from what my development has been and where I'm at right now. And it can be overwhelming and beautiful at the same time. But I don't get to believe in the old programs, right? I don't get to work with the old programs anymore because it's not the truth about me. Truth about me is I'm a wonderful person. I'm a good person. The truth about me is I do have friends, and the truth about me is all these things that that wasn't my program, or that wasn't my experience before. Well, the more I experience this, the more I welcome in these new programs, this new reality of I am loved. I am welcomed in this world. I am good enough. I am valued. And so the same goes for you too, Steve. You got an old program thing going on here, and you're on a turning point where the world is wanting to appreciate you. The world is wanting to welcome you and to help you feel loved, to help you feel beautiful, to help you feel successful, to help you feel all these things. And if you become all of these things, then maybe everything else that you felt about life was never actually the truth. And maybe it was you all along that wanted to hold on to proving to somebody, to some part of the world, to some idea, to something that it really is this bad, or that I really am like this. But that's you holding on to some old program, okay? That's the best way I could articulate this right now, all right? This is really good news for you, and I'm going to tell you what, you're actually going to you're going to conquer yourself. I really do believe that you are going to conquer yourself, and you don't have to do it overnight. Just take little steps each day to actually look in the mirror and say, I'm glad I chose this body. Glad I chose this face. I'm glad I chose these experiences in my life. And these experiences are exactly the medicine that I needed to learn about self-love and how to appreciate myself and to give back to the world in some way that is meaningful to me, which is also giving back to myself in a way that is meaningful to me. And the truth is that's actually the way I want to live my life moving forward. I want to do things that feel meaningful, and I want to do things that feel honest. And I'm just gonna, you don't have to do it overnight, just baby steps, right? Because this is a process. It takes time to process out that type of programming. But you just do a little bit every day, just appreciate yourself a little bit every day, and add an ingredient in. Another ingredient in of self-love, okay? This is helping you big time. It's actually like there's lifting off something around your head. It's actually like lifting some gooey thing off. And then it's something about the heart is circulating. Something also is happening here around the heart center. It just feels like I can breathe more. There's still a little bit of jam going on here in the heart center, but there's a lot more movability, even flexibility. It just feels like I needed a pie in my face, and I needed to just leave it there for a while and live my life feeling like something was wrong with me, and I never really acknowledged there was a pie in my face all the time. Well, now the pie in my face is starting to go away, and now I'm starting to see myself clearly for who I am, for what I am, and to just accept myself, love myself. And yeah, I'm kind of done with the pie in my face walk. It just... Something about this. They're just showing me a man with a pie in his face walking around having a normal day. Hi, I'm ordering a coffee, but I got a pie in my face. And I'm going to go, I'm going to do all this stuff, and I've got a pie in my face. So the spirit realm is showing me this image. Is just like, I can imagine having a pie in your face would make it very hard to really see with all clarity. And try to living your life with a pie in your face like nothing is wrong is also very strange. Maybe we need to remove that pie in the face, And then we just start to smile, and we start to live life in reality, the reality of life. Oftentimes we all have pies in our face in one way or another. We have no idea it's there, and it just takes life in order to remove that layer and now have greater clarity moving forward. And that's what we're doing right now. We're removing a pie from your face. It's kind of what it's like. Again, there's progress here. There's a lot more you want to you want to release a lot more. You're wanting to release a lot more stuff. What could it be? Again, it's in the heart. It has to do with the heart. Okay, it's really jammed up. There's something, I'm walking into a really big jam, and there's oddly, like right here, there's like two little nodes or something right there, and then it's like interconnected with some sort of like heart portal jam. And there's something else going here in the third eye, also interrelated. Whatever this is really a big deal. Because I can't actually pull this out of the heart, and I also can't pull this down either. So I can't just cut these cords, because there's like invisible cords connecting to the heart, and I just can't cut these cords. And we have to learn about what this means, why this is here. We got to do some more discovering. Okay, there's just a lot of anger. I just feel like the word hate. I hate. Self-hate. There's something of this kind of echoing whenever I look. There's a ball inside of here. There's a little ball inside of here. This one's white. This is a blue ball. This is also a blue ball. And then what is in the heart, I have no idea. But when I look at these, it keeps saying something like I hate myself, or self-hate, or the word hate. And it echoes. And you're being way too hard on yourself. That's for sure. And it's all around the face. Oh man, there's something horrible about the way this feels. And the pie in the face effect is really starting to come back to me. Something about the face is really creating a lot of bother. I'm just going to play it out. I'm just going to throw out some ideas. I don't know. There's a clown face, punch in the face. The face is all red. I have a pizza face. I'm trying to figure out what is this about the face. So I'm throwing out ideas and seeing what's going to come back about anything that I'm saying. But it's getting really tight here. It's like the more I say these random words, it's getting really tight. The strings are getting really tight through here, through the face, and the face is starting to kind of squish in together. And the heart is getting a lot of strain on the heart. And everything just makes me so mad. I just want to scream, and it's like all on the backside of my head too. And I can't get this out. I can't pull this out. There's nothing I can do to get rid of this. That's what it's like. It's disorienting. I mean, it's hardcore. This is like a pretty loud energy jam here. I'm just gonna relax the vibes, or just relax the vibes. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. Relax the vibes. I show an image of the possum that got out of the box, ran to the hole in the wall, turned into a ferret, is stuck in a maze. I'm just showing these energy balls in the face here, the heart. I'm just showing it echoes of what we have seen thus far, and just see what it thinks about it. Leave me alone. Don't touch me. Those just come out at me. There's like a little boy that's hiding. He's angry, he's pouting, he's sitting and his knees are up, and he's face is in his knees and his arms are around his head. So he's kind of curled up. Not fully curled up, but he's just sitting there with his head down in his knees. He's so angry. He's in the attic. And the attic is empty and it's dark everywhere. And there's nothing left for me. That's just like, there's nothing left for you. There's nothing here for you. There's nothing special here for you. I'm looking at an empty attic where I could imagine there's all these treasures and all these special things, and there's nothing here for you. And you're in the attic, and it's really hard to accept that the only special thing here is you. Because you wanted something more special than just yourself. You wanted something more special than that. And I say, I can't think of anything more special than you. And you show me pictures of like really pretty, like glistening stars, or like you can imagine being a child going into an attic and you don't know what's in there, and maybe there's like all kinds of cool, weird treasures, you know? And then it turns out that that's kind of where you live now, and there's nothing in there but you. And it ends up being a very kind of very disappointing, very even life-threatening disappointment, because it's like you live here now. You are the treasure. It was a trap or something. It's really sad feeling. And how are you supposed to breathe? It's very hard to breathe. And I feel like I messed some things up. Starting to shift from, it feels like I'm saying I messed some things up. As though the boy isn't feeling like it was done to him, but somehow he put himself in this place. And he's not really a boy anymore, he's a man. And he's a man saying that I'm not going to stay in this attic, and I don't really want anything from this attic. Even if it was full of treasures, what I would want to have more than anything else is my freedom. And I just want to be free from this place. And again, we're looking at a house that has kind of trapped you inside of itself. And you just want to be free from this house. And I see an older, like an older version of you, like you today, and you've left the attic, but the boy still is in the attic, and it's covered in dust. And it's sort of like a creepy joke that no matter how often you try to leave this house, you'll never leave this house. You'll be forever trapped inside the house. And it's a silly illusionary game, and they are playing this trick on you again. I'm telling you what, Steve, this session is over. You're gonna feel free. You will. I'm getting there. Okay. Let's see here. All right, these 12 are getting really obsessive, possessive. They're starting to have more emotions. They're starting to want to watch you suffer. And so that's not good. Before it was just sort of like an activation, like continuing to put you into another maze. But now it's sort of becoming a fun game, and that's not good. My spirit guides say, Abbey, so it's starting to feel like a fun game. And I say yes. And there's more consciousness associated with they when they are wanting to participate in an experience that gives them joy or pleasure. that is harming another person. There's more consciousness involved in that than just simply creating another illusion, another illusion, another illusion. So this is more emotional for me to process this energy wave here. And I'm trying to get to they seem connected with this house, and it seems also like they are as thin as air too, like you wouldn't even know. I'm trying to go to they, and I'm just going to go to they. I'm just going to keep going to they. It's sort of like it's trying to eat my skin, and it's turning green, and my fingers now are turning black, and it's just sort of going up my arms and up my shoulders, and so it's sort of like digesting me. And I'm just trying to push through. Usually I don't go head on towards something because you don't have to. You just, there's always a roundabout way to everything, and the roundabout way teaches us a lot along the way. It's like life. If we try to just force life to happen, we're missing all of the experiences along the way. But there's something about this. I'm just going to go straight there, and we'll just see what happens, okay? It's weird. It's like electrical noises, noises, and it's sort of weird circular. I'm looking at weird circular patterns, like atoms going in a circle. Atoms, like that's what it's like. And then they're making flower shapes, and there's weird electrical noises involved in it. And I'm leaving the house now, and I'm going into an alternative space, also interconnected with the framework of the house. Also interconnected with the framework of your mental body. Also interconnected somehow with the boy in the attic. Also interconnected with your dreams. Also interconnected with how you feel about yourself. Interconnected. I'm breaking down all the walls of the house so the house actually collapses to the ground, okay? So there's nothing you have to escape from. That's the illusion. That you feel like you're trapped within something. You're not trapped within anything. There are no walls. And if there are no walls, then you are not trapped. You are free to go wherever you want to go. So I'm removing the illusion that you are trapped inside of something. Simultaneously, I'm altering the pattern of these atoms. Just whatever this pattern, energy pattern is. And I'm telling the atoms let me just follow my heart here. I'm telling him there are no walls, and there is no need for walls any further. There's only freedom. And so I'm sharing that message with them so they can absorb the idea, the frequency of what I'm speaking, which is imagery of freedom. Freedom to be yourself, freedom to love yourself, freedom to choose the business or not choose the business, freedom to not care if people have more expectations of you or not. Just live your life for yourself and not for everybody else. Freedom to live your life for yourself. I'm just sharing all these types of ideas, their energy, with these atoms. And I'm reprogramming them to understand what freedom is. The atoms say that the boy is precious. We need the boy, though. We need the boy. I ask what you need the boy for. He is also somehow he's also connected to them. I don't get how that's possible. We have an image of a part of yourself that is a much younger version of you. And it's sort of like these ideas are getting interconnected with you as you grow older. And so if it's complete with the younger version of yourself, it's complete with the older version of yourself, because I'm altering the timelines. So what was ever programmed to a younger version of you so once it's deprogrammed, is also deprogrammed from the older version. It's deprogrammed from everything. You gotta be patient here. A lot of resistance. Alright, I gotta go with some new pictures, okay? Something weird, like a straw comes out of the third eye, but it's also looks like skin, but it's like in the shape of a straw, and then there's green goo that comes out of it. And I'm just watching this. It also gives me the thought of like a coffee that has a spout, and then pouring coffee, but it's like brown or black color. But it's never clean. The water is never clean. It's always contaminated with something. This is very dense. This is really hard to move through. I'm going beyond these pictures into a tiny little hole here, and I'm finding my way here through this. There's bats flying around. I'm not through this little hole yet. Oh man, I gotta get folded. I'm like some sort of clothing that's getting wrung through, and then I'm getting dried and folded. I'm getting tossed down a chute now, and I'm trying to stop myself from going down this chute. I am resisting it. I'm resisting the motion and the flow of movement of things. Even if it's a weird flow of what's about weird stuff, there's a reaction that is I'm resisting. And you can't resist this. You gotta go with the flow. Going down into darkness. I don't want to be a failure. I don't want to get thrown away. I don't want to be a piece of trash in everybody else's eyes. I don't even want to be a symbol of trash. I'm not a symbol of trash. Why is my life like this? Why is this as far as I've come? Where I got spat out is literally surrounded by all kinds of elements of garbage. It's kind of like garbage. And I feel like I'm one of these pieces of garbage, misunderstood, misinterpreted, and thrown away. But if you can save the garbage, if you can turn the garbage into something special, you can turn yourself into something special too. Now we're starting to understand the scrap metal idea, because if you can take scrap metal and transform it into something useful, something good, something meaningful, it's actually transforming yourself into something good, something useful, something meaningful. And I'm here to tell you already were something good, something useful, something meaningful. But it actually helps your consciousness to understand why you would be interested in a direction of this kind. Because you're still trying to clean up the aspects of yourself that felt like they were discarded, that they were useless or pieces of trash thrown away. That's part of what has created your complex, this complex. And if you become successful, then I guess then you're not a piece of trash anymore. But if you're not a piece of trash, then that doesn't compute. So you can't actually go outside of the realm of your complex of your self-worth and your identity. So if you go outside that realm, it's like, does not compute. So you can only ever be just trash, and that's it. So obviously we need to acknowledge that that's not the truth about you, and that we're working on this sort of complex, and it takes the reality and the truth that you can love yourself now, and you get permission. I give you permission to love yourself now. Yeah. That's where a lot of this resistance is coming from, because you actually can prove to yourself the opposite is true. So if you prove to yourself the opposite is true, that's conquering, that's a huge accomplishment. And there's still a resistance for seeing you for what your true worth is. You're not giving yourself permission to be your true worth and value. But you're gonna start now, because you're able to, I'm helping you put your finger on what this is all about. What this is all about. You have a beautiful heart, and actually these weird balls, these like ping pong balls, the white and the blues, just come out, and the heart is actually lots of junk and trash comes out of the heart, and it's just, I hear all these like sounds of clinkety clank sounds, it's just pouring out of the heart, and there's a weird parachute at the end of it all, for safety purposes. It's weird, but there's weird parachutes. Actually, the ping pong balls have them as well. But everything is coming out of you. Wow, I got just like a crazy chill, like a really good one, all the way through my arms and my shoulders and my face and my neck and my back and my chest, like all over the upper half of my body. There was just this incredible chill experience as I'm watching these items be released from your spiritual atmosphere. And also the atoms too, they're like, they don't have a purpose anymore, so they don't have existence. They were an idea, they were a manifestation of energy, and the energy is shifted, so they aren't that, they don't have a role as that, and there is no house, and there's no boy trapped inside of a house. It was again creating like an extreme putt-putt golf scenario that you have to get through all of this stuff in order to be free. No, you don't. You can just be free right now, and that's all you have to do is just acknowledge you can just be free right now. It's really that easy. So all of this is gone. Everything is gone now. And you're free. You're free to be who you want to be for yourself. Not for your father, or for people, or whatever, for society. You get to be who you want to be for yourself. And that's it. That's it. And all of this energy work is actually simplifying it down to that. Just that. Gosh, you feel so much better. You're just like, wow, I get it now. I get it now. I'm seeing it now. That's okay, I say. You know, we've all done that. We all get mixed up in weird stuff, and we get carried away with it, and we lose sight of what the truth is. But we can be aware of the truth, but it's hard to actually feel it within ourselves. And so now you're able to feel it within yourself and remember it within yourself through the way that you feel. And now you can be that. You can be that truth. And being that truth is pretty awesome. Being that truth gives you permission to live your life for you. Completely free of anything from your past, anything from your present, any fears holding you back, any ideas or complexes. You're just free to we'll simplify it all down to you get to just choose now how you want to live your life for yourself. And weight doesn't matter. Weight's just another idea of what would make you a good person or a bad person. It really is just another idea. And you have permission to be whatever weight you want to be. because it's your life and you're free to live your life for yourself, however you want to live it. And you get to choose to love yourself, and you don't need anybody else's permission. You don't need their approval to love you. You just be yourself and love yourself, and watch the rest of the world love you back. It happens. It really does happen. Everything's relaxing right now. Like, it's getting so relaxed. I'm pretty much back in my body already. That was really fun and interesting, and let me just fully disconnect from your spiritual atmosphere, okay? Because I'm a little, like, I feel myself, but let's just do this right here. So there we go. There's your spiritual atmosphere, just sending you on your way. And I just cut the cords here so I can just come back into myself fully. And I can just live my life for me, and you can just live your life for you. All right. Steve, super cool. Thank you for exploring this session, and thank you for sharing it. We're learning so much from you. Abby, have really adored this whole riddle of your situation. I love discovering these riddles and trying to make sense of how they get there, and how we can clear that energy riddle out so it doesn't even exist. So we just simplify it on down. Yeah, you're going to be feeling a lot freer. Way more freer, way more clarity, and you're going to feel like you love yourself. You're going to feel good. You really are. All right, for those of you watching, if you're interested in exploring a session with me, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you all for watching, and I wish you all a wonderful day.